Welcome to Magi Monday, where today I am joined by a very special guest, somebody new to me who is a beautiful representation of the Five of Diamonds. This is the card known as the change in values, change in finances, and before I introduce this very special guest, first of all, welcome back. My name is Andrea Blythe. I'm the traveling magi of Let Love Rise, here to bring you some information on the energies of the Magi card science system. And once again, today we're talking about the Five of Diamonds. So let's give it up for my brand new friend who I met in Florida at the Magi celebration last week. Beautiful Irina, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you so much. I am excited to be here and have this conversation with you and see what else we can unravel.
Right, totally. And I love that you're sitting outside as, fives are all about five energy, whether it's the five of hearts, the five of clubs, five of diamonds, or five of spades. There's a restless spirit to that. Do you want to maybe shed some light on what it feels like to be a five of
Uh,
diamonds?
yes, let's just say when I am sitting in the house, I feel very claustrophobic.
Mm.
Whenever I come over to my sister's house or I'm, wherever I'm at, I'm all like, can we take the conversation outside, please? Like the square is too much for me.
You
I
just
need the
love like
fresh
just
air.
Yeah, so the air, like actually being outside, it doesn't matter. Like I have another friend who's a five of clubs, and when we're on Zoom calls and stuff like that, I just see her move from room to room. Like she starts in one spot, and next time I look, she's sitting like in her kitchen, and then she's outside, and then she's this. But for you, is it specifically like your soul just calls you outdoors into the fresh air?
Absolutely. And it's more than just that. Even when I'm gardening, I garden a lot in pots. And that is because I like to move my stuff around.
I love that.
My kids always make fun of me. They're like, oh, it's always something new. They're like, are you going to move that today? And I'm like, I don't know. And what it is I just sit back and I go like, that just seems like it needs a new home.
I love
And
that. So,
so I will move
like
that
if it
around.
feels too
Yeah.
committal to put like a plant in the ground. Hmm.
They do, and they do great. But I do tend to find, especially since discovering the cards more, I'm understanding more that I'm not weird because I used to think that I was weird, like what's wrong with me?
Mm,
But learning about the cards and discovering more about myself, I'm embracing that more. And so I'm more free to actually then express it and move things around or move myself around, versus like,
perfect. Yeah.
oh, you know,
Yeah, and
other people are,
that
go
that's
ahead.
really the benefit of the system to learn how you are and like wrap yourself in love for like this is just how I am designed to be. When were you introduced to the cards and how did you get called into this and learning this system?
So I actually got introduced to the cards about 18 years ago, right after my daughter was born. I opened up a coffee shop for the shits and giggles of it. And there was this beautiful lady that walked in and she's just like, hey, what's your birthday? And I'm all like, why? And so she actually is the one that introduced me to them. Her name was Carol. She's crossed over
Mm,
since then. But yeah, I mean, I got to learn about myself, and my kids were really, really little. Like I said, it was just freshly when my youngest was born, and so I got the opportunity to really work with their energies and not try to fit them in a different box than where they're, born to be, and they ended up thriving more in that.
well,
So that was
that's like
amazing for
that's
me.
one of the things that I want more than anything else is to equip parents, especially, those with young kids and that's so amazing that you had this tool. And that's what I look at it is very much like it is a spiritual tool
Mhm.
into our tool belt, but that helps us understand our own children's energies to foster their gifts because embedded in all of the cards there are soul gifts, there are soul challenges, there's karma, there's so many layers upon layers upon layers of what can be
Mhm.
understood through this system. But so you had that advantage for your
I
kids.
did. Yes, absolutely. And even till this day, my kids will like, hey mom, what's going on with me? Because things are a little off. I'm like, oh honey, you need to embrace that. And they're like, okay.
Right. Wait, So you were saying that like when you were younger, you felt like you were different or you were off just because what was it that restless spirit? Because I know that your secondary card is also a very freedom loving card, right? It's the Jack of Clubs.
Jack of clubs, yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
And anybody who wants to know more about the Jack of Clubs can refer back to the summer season where we touched on that. It was a combined episode. I did the Jack and the Queen of Clubs together. But the Jack of Clubs, like all Jacks, are very playful and youthful. And so that might amplify this for you. Would you say that you feel like, I don't know, what are you feeling or what did you feel?
Um,
And
yeah, absolutely. So like for me, I've always been called, yes, I was the black sheep of the family, right? I love the outdoors and the nature. And I was raised on the farm and what have you. And so I had a lot of that personal experience, but that Jack really did flow into me quite a bit because I wasn't ready to grow up. I'm still not ready to grow up. I just
do
want
we
to
ever have
travel and
to?
play and have fun.
Well, I mean, that was part of it. Like, I just had when we met, seriously, we met, what, it was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks, just a couple
It,
of weeks
it
ago.
was only last week.
Okay. Like I'm just getting home. I know. It was so fun. Like your spirit is infectious. And I just love the outdoors as much as I can be outside. I truly want to be outside, but like the youthful, the fun spirit. I mean, you slept in a hammock. Like,
Yes, I did.
while we were there. And by the way, like I laid in one of those hammocks. I was like, I don't know how you balance. They were not super easy to move around in, but and that's just very playful and fun. And I think before
Mhm.
you moved to the hammock, you were the top bunk, like
Yes.
I get the top bunk. I don't know. Okay, so you have this very playful spirit, but you were talking just before we hit record on this about one of your karma cards. Can you speak to that Four of Hearts?
Oh, so the four of cards. That's actually the Pluto card.
Oh,
So
it's your
that's the
Pluto.
yeah, that's the life transformation card. And so that's what gives the five of diamonds. They have a lot of issues with freedom versus security because the four of hearts, that's the security card, right? That's the structure, that's the family, that's the home, which again, that discovering that, I'm like, that's why I've had issues with my family. I love my family dearly, they're
Yeah,
like a huge part of me, but that issue with them, and that freedom aspect, so it's like a huge one. And
yeah,
like when I think about moving, it's like, or changing jobs, it's like, oh, but I'm so comfortable in this. I know what I'm doing. But
right.
then there's a part of me like, but I'm so bored.
Please, I need a change.
I need
So
out.
an internal struggle between because yeah, like when you look at the five and the four, they're very different energies. The four energy is so grounding and like I want security, I want stability, protection. And then the five is like
I'm
let's
out.
just yeah, peace out. I am breaking free from the cage, from the box and doing this. So it is the lifetime Pluto card of the Five of Diamonds person. So that
Yeah.
Pluto card is so important to understand for anybody's soul roadmap. It is one of the things that has truly helped me to transform and understand my own life. Like I've got the Nine of Hearts as one of my Pluto cards. And when you know what it is really wanting to evolve in you or to help you evolve through the energy of that, it's so powerful. So, what is that? How have you made peace with that, or do you move a lot? Do you, I mean, like literally like home base, or is that part of the internal struggle? Like you might have a desire to, but then you're like, I need to stay here.
So there's been a combination of different things. Let's just put it this way. I have three children. They were born in all three different states.
Okay. I love it.
However, that being said, there's like how would I even, so there's like this internal, how they say the grass is always greener on the other
Yeah.
side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it is, it is true because like I make that change because I'm like, oh, I'm so done here. But then I find bits and pieces of my old life or my old space that I had been. I'm like, oh, I missed that. So
Mhm.
I like want to be able to take this, and combine it and make my own. And so that's what I'm learning to really, you know, to manifest is how can I take all this that I love and combine it into one? And maybe I'll still never truly be happy. I don't know. Yes, I'm a restless soul. What can I say? But that even goes for like when I go out to a restaurant to eat. I look at the menu and I'm like, I just want this, and this. Like, I don't like the structure of what they put together. That's not what I want.
You're limiting me by what you're going to put on the plate together. You're like a tapas person would be better, just like small little bites, small plates, little
But I
nibbles.
want to try that and that and that and that. And so, like, people say, like, oh, you're so needy. I'm like, no, I'm not needy. I just know what I like, and I like to be able to combine that and make that my own. So,
Totally. That makes all kinds of sense. What is there a piece of advice that you would give to a five of diamonds person or a five of diamonds who a person who might have that as their planetary ruler? And I'm asking this for personal gain because my oldest child, his planetary ruling card is the five of diamonds, and it's my where is it on my roadmap? Is it my transform self? I'll have to look at that in just a second. But like like to help or a parent who maybe does have a five of diamonds child, somebody, or if somebody's in a relationship with a five of diamonds person, what piece of advice would you offer out to those who know and love their five of diamonds
and
people?
don't be offended by them. They are here to explore and to learn life for themselves by just trying new things. So
Mhm.
it doesn't mean that they're bored with you or they're bored with the situation. They're just eager to continue to try and to continue to explore. So it's nothing personal. They can love you dearly, but they're just like, what else is there?
And
It,
and
you
would you
know,
say
it's
to a larger extent that that piece of advice can be added to, like if it's a five of hearts person, five of clubs, or five of spades?
Oh, absolutely. Especially the five of spades, their whole life is about what can I try? What's next?
Yeah.
They'll try stupid shit just to try it.
Right,
You
right,
know,
exactly.
it's like, oh wait, there's something else I can do. Okay, life is an experience, and that's truly what it is. And especially for the five of spades. The
Oh,
five of hearts, for them it's more about their home and relationship, obviously. And the clubs are like mental, so they're like constantly changing the way they think, or
right.
the
Yeah.
diamonds is about value. And what I always say about the diamonds is it's not always about money. It's truly what
Mm,
you value. And that could be anything. For me, I had to do a deeper dive because yes, money is a big part of it.
yeah.
But I had to sit there and go like, what is it that I truly want in life? And the bottom answer was just want to be happy. So what is it that's going to give me true happiness and that true joy?
Oh my,
And
yes.
and that is my value. And that's what I decided. I'm like, it's not about the big house or the change of the
Yeah.
house. It's about where can I find that happiness?
Right, right. And that, oh,
Mhm.
I mean, that is really beautiful. That's how you use this to just understand like how to best align with your energies. And I think whether you're a five of diamonds or a four of spades, like myself, that question of what do I truly value is so important. And it's a big
Mhm.
one for me this year because that five of diamonds, again, if you can be born as a five of diamonds person like Irina, you can have it as your planetary ruling card like many people do. And it can also just show up in your roadmap. I am not a five of diamonds person, but it is playing huge role in my year this year as both my long range card, which is kind of like headline news, like just I'm going to be changing my values or changing my income. That is another possibility of it. Fingers crossed. And it is also my Jupiter card right now. So I'm in my Jupiter period. We all have, as we travel around the sun, we in our 365 days, there are seven 52-day periods that are based on the seven planets. And Jupiter falls right in the middle of your year. So my Jupiter period just started. And then I met this wonderful five of diamonds. And that's also how it can work sometimes is just five of diamonds people show up if you have a five of diamonds period, like I do right now. So it was just so fun. I was like, oh, she's a five of diamonds. She's my Jupiter this year. And like a blessing.
Yes, absolutely. And we've seen each other on Zoom for over like 2 years now. I think we had our class together.
Yes.
But we never spoke or communicated. And then all of a sudden we met at the meeting and it was
Yeah.
just like, oh, you want to be friends?
Let's be
That's what
friends.
I felt.
Yeah. Yes. Anybody who likes to dance barefoot in the grass under the stars is a friend of mine.
Exactly. And I was like, yay. But you and I have a deeper connection than that. I think somewhere along we have Jupiter connection as well, and there's karma connection as well. And
Yes.
I only know this because of as I was talking to you before, you are my daughter's card, my youngest.
Yes.
And
And
so
and
yeah.
that's I find that so interesting that I represent your daughter and her card and can help you kind of understand like what goes on in the mind of a four of spades. And conversely, you help me to understand my son as a five of diamonds person, what goes on in his sweet head, you know,
Yes,
how to pair it to 7-5. Oh, yeah. It's because it's just so it's so valuable to see that they really are. I'm starting to think of them as just like as archetypes. They're different, and there's different combinations. It's not you're not just a five of diamonds. There are five of diamonds Leos. And by the way, I will put all the birthdays, anybody who is born of the solar energy of this birth card in the description notes. There's one for every year. Diamonds have a birthday. I'm not for every year, for every month of the year. So too many to list off right now, but go ahead and check that for yourself. And then if you do want to know if you maybe have it as your planetary ruling card, that's where it gets a little bit more complex with the astrology. And so there's also a link in the show notes where if you want to hop onto a clarity call with me to find out a little bit more about your personal cards, just do it. It's free. It's complimentary. It's part of the service that I really want to offer people as the traveling magi to understand how beautiful this system is and how it helps us to understand ourselves better, our energy better, our children better, our parents better, the people we're dating better, or potentially dating better, like everybody, right? I mean, is that one of the first questions that you ask people about their birthdays? Or,
um, so yeah, I mean, I get their people's birthdays. So I myself personally really truly like to look at people's karma cards because I think that's a huge significant. And like I was going to mention, you know, a five as a karma card can be challenging for some as well, especially if they're like I believe it's the four of diamonds has the five as the karma card,
yes.
and and so that to them, I think theirs is a five of spades if I'm not mistaken. Somebody that has that structure, that desires that structure, but then like they're being forced to make that change, to make that move. And so that can be extremely challenging for a
Yeah.
four to have to deal with that
Yeah.
energy. So that's
Yeah.
another big thing, talking to Andrea, to discover that about yourself. Like you're not weird, you're not crazy.
Right, especially because encoded in that four of diamonds, it's known as like the stability in finances or protection in finances. And it is a really great money card to have, but there is also if the person, the four of diamonds person, because of this karma, they might not even like that restless spirit of the five karma card can make it difficult for them to just either focus and figure out what path to do the work. And so and I'm not sure if it's because of the Karman card, but I spoke about this last week with the four diamonds that they can be considered lazy. And I don't know if it's lazy or if it's unfocused, but until they get really clear and go for the path where they do have that financial protection and I think clarity is a lot in coded in a four as well. But sometimes when they see that, oh, this is my card, then why am I not, this way or why am I not that way? And sometimes it's understanding that karma connection, understanding your Pluto, like
Mhm.
the more challenging cards in our roadmaps that are meant to grow us and show us a lesson or an aspect of ourself that maybe we haven't had the awareness of, or we've ignored, or we don't want to look at, Um,
Yes,
but it is important.
absolutely. So I wanted to put in, like you were talking about that lazy card with that four of diamonds, that actually has a lot to do with their six, I'm sorry, the Queen of Hearts Saturn card. So it's
There
not
it
just
is.
Pluto, but Saturn, right? So they
Yeah.
like that luxury and that fight,
Yeah,
just
feed me
pamper me.
grapes. Yes. Yes,
So
and
really,
indulgent.
truly understanding your whole path, everything from Mercury all the way through your transformed self card. I mean, it's big. It's not just the bird card. There's just so much more that
Right,
entails. And so
right,
absolutely,
right.
if she's offering you a free consultation, I'd take it. Absolutely. Take it, grab it, run with it.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, thank you for that. But yeah, it is the entire roadmap, and that is there are 13 cards to understand, and it can feel like a lot at first, but that's part of the what I help people is like, where are you at right now? What maybe are you struggling with currently? And let's see one key. I mean, there's lots of keys to this, and
Absolutely.
it is an ancient guidance system, and it's up to you as the person who is living your life experience to decide how you're going to play your cards, how you're going to play them.
Absolutely. Yes.
Personally, I recommend the Irina method, which I'm just going to coin it, the Irina, which is relentlessly pursuing happiness and really
Hmm.
looking at the connection, how happiness can be a new word for success,
Absolutely.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Because, like, going back to that, coffee shop that we just kind of sort of opened up on, really, it was just for shits and giggles, just to see what would happen. We had it for about 4 years, and then we closed it down, and it was my sister and myself. And the one thing we discussed, we're like, well, were we successful? Because we ended up shutting down the business.
Mhm.
And we both looked at each other and we were like, oh my gosh, we met the most amazing people. We learned so many different things, and
Yeah.
about ourselves and how we communicate. And, it was like, yeah, we were successful.
I love that. I love that so much because people need to hear that too. I know that even, I can parallel that. I just quickly jump to my marriage, or the ending, the divorce in my marriage, and was it successful? Like I sat with that in its own way of like, well, yeah. Yeah, I mean the marriage didn't endure. The coffee shop didn't last beyond 4 years. However, there are beautiful lessons and growth opportunities that we claim from it. And
Mhm.
if you really look at it, especially from this diamond perspective of the value
Oh, yeah.
versus the
Hmm.
financial, the money, the Jerry Maguire, show me the money. It's not always about the money. It's about so much more.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Hmm.
for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Any other parting words that you would like to share with the audience?
Um, well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm always ready for a change and I'm always ready for a travel. I was actually planning my next trip as I was flying back home.
I
So
love
I'm all
that.
like, wait, this is coming to an end. What's next? What's my next adventure? And like, it's good, but I'm always ready for that next adventure.
I
So
love that.
I think
And
that's
and I would imagine whether it is like an actual adventure where you leave your home and you travel somewhere else, or just even in your hometown and just adventuring, doing something. I mean, this woman, I'll just share this. It kind of blew my mind. Again, I'm a four. I'm very practical. And I think I'm traveling to Florida. I need a bathing suitcase, and I think about, toiletries, all the essentials. Irina packs her paddleboard, all her camping gear, and I don't know, and then you had like a backpack for clothes. But that's what you traveled with was I'm gonna go to the other side of the country, prepared for an adventure. And I was like, that's amazing.
yes, absolutely. So, keep in mind, I was able to fit it all in one bag and check it
Very
and
impressive.
not have to pay, it was,
Under
so
50
I brought
pounds.
under 50, it was 48.9.
I love it.
Because I'm thinking, okay, I got my sleeping bag, what are the essentials that I actually truly need, or what can I buy over there? Toothbrush I can buy over there. It's not a big deal, right?
Oh my
But
gosh.
my camping stuff, or my sleeping, it's like, okay, my first night I slept underneath the stars, on a hammock, because I had a hammock tent kind of type of thing. And
I
so
love
I was very well protected. I have my car. I learned how to drive when I was 12 out on the farm.
I love
Um, don't restrict me.
Right. And
I'm
so
ready for a
what I
move.
want to say to everybody who isn't a five, like myself, do yourself a favor and find a friend who is a five because you are going to have the time of your life. They just think very adventure oriented, and it is just so fun and so freeing. And I think myself personally, I know, especially from the road that I have been walking as I have been doing this healing journey post divorce, is that it has been very serious and it has been very hard. And I am ready to shed all that. And I have been shedding it, and I get more and more fives come into my life, and they truly are a very bright, joyful light. So that would be what I would leave you all with. Go find a five to have some fun adventures with. Sleep under the stars.
Absolutely. And one more thing to add, you were talking about divorce, and I had, similar story when I left. And if you're not following your true path, so the card system really helps you discover who you really are.
Yeah.
I ended up with a lot of health issues, just like things that would come up. And when I made that connection, like, oh wait, I need movement, I need joy, I need happiness, that's when like it shifts, and then like spontaneously and miraculously you just feel better because
Yeah.
you're being more authentic to yourself. So whether you're a five or a four or an eight, being authentic to who you are, what your makeup is just going to help you blossom and be more of who you're supposed to be.
And when you are in your authentic light, like that is one of the highest vibrations that we can emit. And it's infectious, and it is not just true to us, but people feel that, and they want that to be that for themselves. And just like I love how we can spark others by being our truest self. And for both of us, that is what these cards have helped us to understand our essential design and to stop resisting it and just being like, hey, I'm going to say love me or leave me, but honestly, love me or leave me. Like this is who I am, and I am not going to play small for anybody, and I'm not going to change my fundamental character to make someone else feel better or to confine to a role that is maybe not the one for me in this lifetime. Or maybe it was and it served its purpose, and now something else is ready to emerge.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
Very well said. Love it.
yes, well, I look forward to our next adventure when we'll sync up again. Who knows when that will be, but hopefully sooner rather than later. And it really was wonderful to, yeah, get to meet in person so many of the people that I have looked up to, that I have studied along, that we've done some mentoring together in Robert Lee Camp's program. And Irina is another mentor there alongside me. And we are all about helping people understand how to use this system for their best and their highest good. So I think I'll just close out as I always do. Here is to love and joy in the journey. Ciao for now.
Okay. Bye.
Let me find the end of the recording. There we go. Stop. Bye.